Hello and welcome back to the channel again, guys. In this beautiful video we are going to be going through the all new Icarsoft CR Max P, which is this middle box here. We're going to strip it open, look inside, see what it comes with, and we're going to do a comparison in another video and a little bit in this video maybe on the CR Ultra P, which is their top shelf stuff, and their probably most sold diagnostic machine, which is the CR Max BT. But our focus today is on the all new CR Max P. So let's get cracking and strip it open. Within that box is this beautiful case in here. So once you've opened it, you can see that it's got this manual there and it's got this lovely protection to cover the screen. So splitting things apart, we've got this beautiful 10-inch iPad, shall we say. I'm going to get onto it in a second. And within the box, we have the charging point, which is a Type-C. It's a beautiful thing. The adapter for the wall. This is for coding in, I don't know, anything, let's say module wise, airbag modules, headlights, you name it. And then we've got, this is again for the Ethernet, again for BMWs, which I used to use. You plug into that if you want to code in them sort of modules. Again, that goes in there, which is part of the game. First impression, I have to say, it is beautiful. And look at that. And look at this one. They are like, this is so much bigger. This is like the comparison to this, I'll be honest, in terms of hotel. It's the MS, no, it's the Ultra Light S. That's the comparison to it, I have to say. This is really handy, really easy to grab. It does grip nicely. I'm gonna go through everything in a second as well. What's also amazing, guys, this has got free lifetime updates, so there's nothing to, pay after you buy the diagnostic machine. And the price of it is only around £500, so it really is a no-brainer. Comparing this to other diagnostic machines out there, similar like for like from Hotel, is around about 1,200 quid, 1,500 quid, even more. But it's lifetime free updates, so just enjoy. So this beautiful machine comes with a 10-inch touchscreen Android and is backed by a quad-core processor with 64 gigabytes of storage and 10,000 mAh battery, which, if I compare the 10,000 mAh into hours, we'd be talking 8 hours non-stop running. So it's perfect for like DPF regens, coding in bits and bobs. It really is a no-brainer so far. Guys, do you know what? I'm just seeing this. I mean, I've probably seen it on the others, but I've never really thought about it. I just accidentally pressed this and a light came on. So, first thing first, lovely torch. And it should be here. As you can see, it's dark. When we turn the light on, look at that. We'll find the right place, plug it in, and it should come up with the side button there. Once paired this to the diagnostic, it will kind of like flash. And then what we need to do is to hit the start and stop button, take the ignition on. There we go. So, as we can see, this is the stand. That's how it holds onto it. I love it, it grips. So let's pair it up to the car, guys. So we'll hit Diagnostics. It will bring in, we're gonna find, let's say, the vehicle we are working on, Mercedes. We'll just narrow it down, Mercedes-Benz. So it's giving us two. So VIN identify and vehicle select. This is manually selecting, that's auto selecting. So we'll hit auto and we're gonna read, and it's gonna pick the VIN chassis up itself. There we are, and we'll hit up. We've got auto scan, control unit, service. We're going to do auto scan, which is going to go through a full systematic, through all the modules in. So you can clearly see it's gone through all the modules. It's gone through every single module. So in terms of engine control module, transmission, power steering, ABS, cluster. For example, we'll go into the engine control module, and within this, you can see how quick it went down to the engine control module. We've got read code, so like this, and these are the faults we have: diesel particulate filter, EGR, soot content, boost pressure, and we have something else here, but irrelevant. We can do a clear fault code memory. We can do actuation tests as well and view live data. So for example, we'll view live data and diesel particulate filter, and I want to know what the soot content is, guys. So the soot content here is showing a 0, so something's definitely not right. Maybe the DPF pressure sensor, or maybe just we haven't started the car. Let's start the car at the bare minimum. But we can clearly see here the different values, and it's live data. For anyone wanting to know what the actual data are, it tells you instantly without having to worry about it. On to another, so you've got high pressure control, which is the fuel pump, and we can see the live data within them. And if I rev the car, these will go instantly. Boost control, as we saw earlier, so here we are, and it will show you in different formats as well. So as you can see, so for example, if we do the method, if we do it like this sort of diagram, if we do it as a graph, it's brilliant for anyone. Let's have a look. So we've got fuel pump. We'll start off with the fuel pump. Ignition on. Required combustion engine at standstill, ignition on. Okay. Engine speed, okay. Control. So we'll hit okay. And here we'll start the F1 actuation. So I can hear the humming. So if we go, we're in the ABS section, ESP should we say, and this is another one, this is another example, and we'll see what it can do. So we'll carry on. As you can see and hear, another beautiful thing with the actuation test, so let's just say right front window, power window on. I've already got the window down. I'll do this, and if we hit the, I'll just keep pressing it from my end. As you can, if we do again, down, down, down. It really is amazing the things that this comes with. Like I said, it's 50 plus service functions, and this is just off the engine section and nothing else. So another beautiful thing is we can check all the lighting. So that's the brake lighting. Hit OK. OK. And it says, so we'll hit continue. And here we will, so it says switch on function left, right, stop. Okay, so as you can see there, guys, go on to the right side. There you go. So here we have the indicators. Another beautiful thing is with these newer cars like the diesel world is the AdBlue system. We've got actuation test. Ooh, what did I do? So actuation test, you can clearly find out if it's the actual AdBlue injection, as in injector, sorry, or, and we'll just do a quick erase so everything's deleted. So moving on to the ECU coding and adaptation. On this section, I say this is the biggest upgrade is ECU coding and advanced adaptations, right? So what we're going to do, depending on the vehicle, the make and model, like we said, this is a Mercedes, you can code replacement modules, perform adaptations, configure vehicle options, enable like certain hidden features as well, which I'll get onto another, well, in a bit as well. Carry out module matching after repairs. This is usually kind of like functionality people look for in much more expensive diagnostic platforms. So if we get cracking, we'll just go into the services. And I'm going to do the DPF as an example, guys. Once it's gone through, it'll give us the next page. And this is what I love about this machine. It does more than 50 different service functions using this. My point is, we'll do the diesel particulate filter. And from here, hopefully, the car was in limp mode, this specific car. We'll be able to reset, and we'll do a DPF regen at some point as well. But this is for me to show you guys what this machine is actually capable of. So we've got the engine running, and it's telling us to wait a few seconds till it reads all the data. So we're gonna hit OK. And this is the way it's gonna do a DPF regen to clear out the soot content. And then another service function would be the oil reset. So your auto oil reset, reset general initialization. We'll just do the auto oil reset. This way, if you're getting the warning on the dash, so it's telling us the 0 dates, so not performed. Let's just do this one, for example. This is the quality of the oil. Okay, you know, so it's successfully done and coming back out. One or two things that I'm actually going to mention on this machine is it's a beautiful service function. For example, speed limit assist. So you know, like when you've got speed limiter on a vehicle, it covers best part of like 26 vehicles, which you don't get with most diagnostic machines. It can do heads-up display as well. You know, you can recalibrate and add that sort of function if you ever wanted to look into it. Another beautiful thing is start-stop function. You know, when cars do, you know, you stop at the traffic light and it turns itself off, you can disable that function with this in the service function there. Again, guys, this is something the high-end tools do for thousands of pounds, whereas this is only around the £500 mark, depending on the offers they have on. As discussed, there's a few questions that I've been asked in the past, and with these 3 diagnostics in place, you know, is the software updated regularly? Like we said, it's free lifetime update with Wi-Fi software upgrades, no annual subscription, okay? Another question is, what's the difference between the CR Max P and the CR Max BT? Well, the CR Max P is the updated version of the CR Max BT, which is right that one there. And you can clearly see the upgrade just by looking at it, never mind going into it in depth. So for example, it's a hardware upgrade. CR Max P features upgraded hardware 10-inch, as we can see from here. It's a touchscreen and it's very sensitive and lovely. I like it. Android OS, quad-core processor, 64GB storage with 10,000 mAh battery. That 10,000, as said, is like 8 hours continuous worth of work, guys, non-stop. The protocol upgrade, CR Max P standard equipped with the RJ45 network cable, as we saw earlier, the F chassis and the USB 2 and the 10 to 100 MN network, and cable for the protocol. More advanced functions will be added to the CR Max P, to be fair. I mean, I've used that quite a lot, the CR Max BT, but it doesn't go anywhere near that one. You can just tell that that is like a proper garage high-end tool, and that one's probably a bit basic. Nothing wrong with that, but it's basic compared to that one. I mean, another question would be, I mean, the CR Max P cannot recognize my vehicle by auto-VIN. Does it mean that the device is faulty? No. I've seen this before in the past, especially on Nissan. Nissan Jukes, a lot of the Nissan models. Not only on Icarsoft, but I've got tons of other diagnostic machines, so such as the Launch, the Think Car. I've got many other ones, even Hotel as well. They won't recognize certain cars. No matter how hard you try, it will not pick the auto VIN up, so you have to manually select it. This is just the way it works. Remember, guys, these diagnostic machines are made to make life easy for all the vehicles all in one, rather than just one specific. So for example, like Mercedes software, you can only work on Mercedes, whereas this is everything compacted into one. And if you ever do have trouble getting an auto VIN, by all means contact Icarsoft, and they are brilliant. I'll be honest, they reach out to you like instantly with these sort of things if you have any issues. Another question is, this is not just for Icarsoft really, for every other machine as well. I mean, DTC can be read normally but fail to be cleared or reappear after clearance, and why? That's one question I get asked. Why am I getting the same fault code, in other words? Remember, if the ignition is off, it will not clear. You think it's cleared, but it hasn't. You need to have the ignition on, that's first thing. Secondly, if the component has failed and is faulty, then remember, it's not going to clear. It's going to stay there. Or if it's an intermittent, for example, DPF is known for it, an EGR, you clear it, the ECU thinks, okay, I'm fine, and then you go, drive a mile down to the road, and boom, it kaboom comes back on. Yes, because it's detected that it's abnormal, so you need to fix that component. And so if you ask me, I really do think it's worth every penny. And when you spend that extra few quid, believe me, it's going to be worth it, because when you come and you are stuck with the fault code, or you like, oh God, I want to do an ECU coding, or I want to code in an injector or reset the AdBlue, and you cannot do it with that sort of machine, for example. You're like, oh, I should have spent that few quid more. The reality is you're going to have to go to somebody and pay them 100, 200 quid just to get that fault code erased. Whereas why not pay the few quid extra and get the top shelf stuff, really? Let me hear your feedback, guys. Again, if I've missed some, I can only apologize. And if I don't get back to you in the comments, again, apologize, because there's just so many comments and messages I get on a daily basis. Let me know what you think. please do like and subscribe. With your likes and subscribe, I'm able to proceed with this even further. I'm able to help you guys even more. So yeah, please let me know in terms of the feedback.